There's a lot of money to be made in artificial intelligence, and we've seen that in the stock market. So um, I'm trying to brush up on artificial intelligence myself. My background is I wrote a commercial artificial intelligence program back in the early 1980s. This is while at Digital Equipment Corporation. And I formally studied it in probably the early 1990s in my graduate CS program. So I knew about AI um, from the perspective of the 1990s, and back then a lot of it was kind of involved around in expert systems. My son took it in, I don't recall if it was undergrad or graduate school, but he took it somewhere between 2010 and 2012. And there was a lot more about machine learning at that time. So I've looked around for books, and there are a ton of books on artificial intelligence from a variety of perspectives, but I wanted to start by picking up the theory. So I looked around for a textbook, and I had a lot of trouble finding something definitive. So I looked at a couple of university sites for book lists for AI, and I came up with a list of four that I would like to start with. This is looks like a standard textbook, the fourth edition. The third edition came out in 2010, so you can get that pretty inexpensively. But I decided to buy this one, and I started reading it today because it just arrived. And it costs a few bucks, 176 bucks. You can apparently get the whole textbook in a PDF off a torrent. I am not really familiar with torrents, and what I know about them is that you can get malware, and I think various multimedia companies used to prosecute people for using them to distribute copyrighted material. Anyway, I wanted a physical book just because I like reading physical books as opposed to reading them on screens. This book, I've read up to around 1.1 or 1.2 of it, and I read the preface, and it's really, really well written, or maybe I just haven't been reading well-written materials lately. But I feel right at home with the introduction, and the book is very efficient, succinct, and it looks like it's going to cover what I wanted to. It says that the book is 25% new material. Most of the material that I'm interested in will probably be that new material, plus maybe a section or two on machine learning. The rest will be review. The book is designed for a 2-semester undergraduate sequence, or it can be used in a graduate course with supplemental readings. So this looks like it should be a lot of fun. I do not have any particular projects in mind to do with this. It's just I like to keep myself educated in certain areas, and this might also be useful for evaluating companies for potential trades. So the other books are this, and I'm not exactly sure what it's about. It seems to cover deep learning. Interesting that there's a nice quote on it from our good friend Elon Musk at X. So another one, Fundamentals of Machine Learning for Predictive Data Analytics. So Definitely something I need to learn. It looks like it's another theory book. Oh, there's a newer version of it too. And another math book. So there are aspects, large language models, that seem to be more about the technology as opposed to the theory. And I do want to get into playing around with large language models just to see what they are and figure out how useful they are. Well, clearly they're useful. I just want to figure out what they can be used for. So I kind of expect this to take probably 4 or 5 months to do. It's kind of like going back to school. One other thing I find that I miss, I actually haven't uh, read through a textbook in a while, and uh, I get a lot of stuff from the internet. And one thing I noticed when I started reading this is that the difficulty in the language, or the complexity of the language, the richness of the language, is something that I haven't really come across for a while. And it's possible that reading too much stuff that's online does that. It's geared towards a reading level that's lower than what you get in college and grad school. And I do read scientific papers from time to time, and some medical papers from time to time, but it probably a good idea to probably incorporate richer reading materials. And I'm not really sure how to do that because I like looking into technology areas with respect to theory, but I also like to keep up with what's going on in the world, and most of that just seems to be a lower reading level than what I was used to when I was in the working world and when I was in school. So anyway, if you're looking to learn about AI from a theory perspective, these are a couple books you might take a look at. Hopefully it's more in educational and entertainment than the pressure to do it for your job. My son also needs to get up to speed, or at least he needs to get caught up to what's currently being used, as his workplace has started using it, and he's being asked to look at some projects which require the use of it, and so he needs to get up to speed on this stuff as well. Anyway, that's it. Just some early morning musings.